this is the Devops mock interview. So yeah, this is the Devops mock interview day 53. We have already completed 52 mock interviews. Whoever watching this video on YouTube, right? You can check out the mock interview list. Just go to playlist section. There you can find Devops interview question and answers. There you can find the all mock interviews. Okay, please like this video so that we will get motivation to continue these mocks. Okay, in future as well. And the like target is 40. And yeah, we will going to start this mock in few minutes. Okay, Sunil, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. My name is Sunil Shikalwadi, a software engineer with a 5+ years of experience in the industry, and my expertise spans several critical areas of a modern software development and the operations. I am proficient in a version control using Git and have hands-on experience with the continuous integration through the Jenkins. In terms of a continuous management, I utilize Ansible, and my skills also include containerization with Docker and Kubernetes and enabling efficient deployment and scaling applications. I rely on a Grafana for logging and monitoring. And additionally, I leverage infrastructure as a code to like Terraform and the cloud formation. So for managing infrastructure development and the efficiency, and I'm proficiently about leveraging these tools to the build scales and feasibles and efficient software operations. Yeah, this is all about it. So thank you.
Okay. You are missing some flow in the introduction. I know you have a gap, but you should not like if there is a gap in the mocks. Okay, there should be not a gap in you. Okay, you need
Oh,
to prepare daily
okay.
introduction. Okay, the whatever the introduction you are giving, but it's okay. There is no confidence, and yeah, just once check the recording, you will get it. Everything
Okay.
is okay, but the flow and the confidence is missing. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, hi Rani, can you please introduce yourself? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, but you are on mute.
Yeah, Rani, you are on mute.
Sorry, I missed your
Can you
last
please introduce
words.
yourself?
Sure,
Don't reveal your genuine information. Yeah, you can explain.
sure. Thank you for having me. Currently, I'm working as a cloud and DevOps engineer, having 3 years of experience in this domain. I have proficient knowledge and experience of different DevOps tools and technologies. I have worked with many tools such as Git and GitHub for version control system. And for CI/CD tools, I have used Jenkins to automate the software development process. And I have used Docker to containerize the applications and Kubernetes to manage and scaling for the containers. I have deployed applications on a different Kubernetes environments such as EKS and GKE. Along with that, I have created infrastructure using Terraform, and for monitoring and logging purpose, I have integrated infrastructure with the Prometheus and Grafana. Additionally, I have knowledge of cloud technologies, including AWS and GKE, with services includes EC2, VPC, load balancer, static IP, and S3 and Lambda function and all. That's all about me. Thank you.
Yeah, everything is perfect. No feedback. Okay. Yeah, I'm impressed with your introduction. So just continue like this. If you do continue like this, definitely little bit confidence is missing. It's okay. On practice, you will achieve that. But everything is okay. The flow, the
Yeah, sure.
realistic, everything is realistic. So
Yes.
yeah, hi Raju.
Thank
Can you please introduce yourself? Don't reveal your genuine info.
Okay. Actually, my name is Shilpam Raju. I have 2+ years of experience in Devops and AWS. We are using Terraform as a infrastructure to create our infra in AWS, and we have created our own modules and maintaining them. We are using EKS as our deployment platform, and we have some legacy applications in VM as well. And we also configured auto scaling for VM as well EKS. We have some applications in Node.js, Java, Python, and we have different kinds of DB like MySQL and MongoDB, and a separate DB admin to manage them. We develop Jenkins CI/CD pipelines to deploy the application into VM as well EKS, and we I have a familiar experience in cloud services like EC2, VPC, and S3 buckets. That's it from my end.
Super. So whatever you delivered, right? It is totally realistic and natural. So there is no right. You are telling whatever you getting from your mind, and it is. I'm feeling like it is genuine. Some people will just for the first time, right? They will have that fear. So I can clearly say that there is no fear in your introduction. Super.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, you have requested me the script. I will provide that. Once you practice that, definitely you will rock the interview.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, you can keep 3 years experience. Okay, mention as 3 years. Okay,
Okay.
super. So shall we start the mock interview?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Who are joining? Like who has joined? Sunil has joined from laptop. So Pawan, you have joined from mobile or laptop?
Laptop only, Pawan.
Okay.
me also love.
Okay. So if I ask you to share your screen, can you able to share your screen and write? If I ask
Yes,
something,
sure.
Yeah.
super. So how would you resolve a merge conflict in Git? Okay. How do you resolve a merge conflict in Git during a production hotfix? So we have discussed already a branching strategy. So in the branching strategy, there is a production hotfix branch. So for that, how would you resolve a merge conflict in Git? Simple question. How would you resolve a merge conflict in Git? Anyone want to try? Definitely go ahead and try it. Or if you are not able to answer, Google it, check the answer and answer. Try to answer. You can use the AI tool as well. It's up to you. Whatever it may be, you can use that. If you can use the WhatsApp as well. In the WhatsApp also you got a AI, right? You can ask and you can try it.
Pawan, can you repeat the question again?
How do you resolve a merge conflict in Git?
Sir, first, can I tell, sir?
Definitely go ahead.
Yeah, first we have to initialize the merge between two branches. For example, merge features into the branch. So we'll use the git checkout main. So after that, git merge feature to branch. So if there is a conflict changes in the same git file, so git will stop the merge and notify you about the conflict. So after that, we need to identify the conflicting files. So first we need to check the status, the git status using a git status, and after that manually resolve the conflicts. So first we need to open the conflict files in a text editor. Git makes the conflicting sectors like uh, first we can head and changes from the feature branches. So after that, stage the resolved files. After manually resolving the conflicts in each file, we can add and we can add the files. So once it's complete the merge, we can commit. So using the git commit. So after that, we have to push the origin through the git push origin main. So manually, we will resolve the conflicts.
Okay. Anyone want to add something?
Yeah, sure. I will.
Yeah,
So
please.
we have to open the conflict file where conflict has arises, and then we have to look into the where the conflict has arises uh, on the arrow marks. Then we have to manually select which part we have to keep in that file. And then after selecting the part, we have to delete which we don't want to keep there, and we, al- we we also have to delete the arrow marks present there. After that, we can add and commit to that changes.
Okay. Raju, you want to try?
No problem.
Okay. Sunil, whatever you said, it was perfect. So in the real interview, whenever they ask if you explain like this, right?
Yes.
Definitely you will crack that interview.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Not 90% or 80%, 100% you will crack. Whatever you have explained as well. So she also did her best. Shall we go to next question?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
So how do you ensure version control for large binary files in a Git repository? So how do you ensure version control for large binary files in a Git repository? Nothing but there is a set of files, simple software files. Okay.
Okay.
How you will maintain the history of that set of files in Git? Getting my point? Normally we will not never push that set of files to the Git. We will only keep the code in the GitHub, right? Here the question is how you will version control that large binary files, that too in Git repository. That is the question. How do you ensure version control for large binary files in Git repository? Nothing but there is a jar file or var file is there, right? How you will protect that jar and var file in Git repository? Because jar and var file is you will never push it to the GitHub because Git is created only for storing the code, not for like storing the artifacts.
Yes.
So here the question was totally different. Okay, but I want to version control that. Nothing but I want to add that set of files also in the history. So how you will do that? What are
We
the
can use a
possibilities?
sure. So we can use a repository like Nexus to version control the large files there.
Definitely, you are right. Super.
Sure.
And we will check the answer, okay, after completing this mock interview. So whether you are right or wrong, you are right. But on the final, you will get the answer.
Sure.
So Sunil, do you want to add something?
Yes, sir. Sir, in the version controlling large binary files in the Git can be challenging. Why? Because it is a design primarily for the text files. So, and large binaries can quickly boot the repository and slow down performance. So, we can step the version control large binary files with the LFS. So sudo apt install git lfs, which is it's in Ubuntu. If it is Ubuntu uh, OS, we can use the sudo apt install git files. So after that, initialize the git lfs in your repository. So that is a git lfs install. So track the large files using a git lfs. Git lfs track. We can track. We have to track the large files. So we can add commit large files. We can use the command like a git add file name, and cloning the fletching and the repository with the LFS files. We can clone git clone repository URL. So we can pull the LFS using the git LFS pull. Yeah.
Super. So yeah, whatever you have tried, it's it's perfect. At least you are trying to answer the question. I'm happy with for that. So try for every question like this. In the real interview, you will automatically speak with
Yes.
confidence. Raju, you want to add something?
Actually, I don't have much knowledge on Git.
Oh, no issues. Anyway, you will learn. No need to
Yeah.
worry. Let's come back to third question. Okay, how would you implement a Jenkins pipeline for a microservice based application using Docker and Kubernetes? I will repeat the question again. How would you implement a Jenkins pipeline for microservice based application? That too using Docker and Kubernetes. Nothing but how you will implement a Jenkins pipeline for Docker and Kubernetes. That is a simple question, but it is I'm just confusing you. How would you implement a Jenkins pipeline for microservice based application using Docker and Kubernetes?
So we can implement the Jenkins files to manage a microservice using a Docker and Kubernetes, involving automatic entire CI/CD, like a continuous integration and a continuous deployment process, from building the container images to the deploying them on the Kubernetes cluster. First, we can set up the Jenkins. First, we have to install a Jenkins on a local machine, a virtual machine, which is a cloud services like AWS or Azure. So after that, we have to install the necessary plugins. That is a Docker pipeline plugins and Kubernetes plugins and Git and Blue Ocean plugins. According to our necessary, we need to install all plugins, and after that, we have to write the Docker file. So for example, I'm giving the one Node.js applications. So from node 14 work directory slash app, so we can take the copy of the files from copy command. So we need to run the npm install. It will install all npm necessary files, and we can expose the port number 8080, and cmd we can give the npm and suite. So after that, we can set up the deployment, Kubernetes deployment, and we can create pipelines according to the uh, pipelines, yeah, like that.
Oh, super. So yeah, whatever you said, that it's perfect. It's correct.
And we can clone the repository according to our or we can build the images and pushing the image or deploying the Kubernetes, yeah, we can use.
Okay, Rani, you want to add something?
Uh, I have pretty much the same approach. Like
Okay.
we can have a pipeline
Okay,
with
can you able to share your screen and write a pipeline syntax?
yes, sure.
Okay, please do that. Sunil has explained, right? Now you show me practical. Open Notepad and share the Notepad and write a syntax. Sunil, you can help, or Raju, you too can help if she is
Okay.
missing something. You can close all tabs, unnecessary tabs. Okay. So just save that file as a Jenkins file. It will be better. It will help. Okay, explain. Okay, try to explain while writing. So you are on mute.
Yeah, sure. So here I am creating a pipeline for deployment of applications which are containerized and we could deploy it in Kubernetes. So here I have taken a agent any to run this CI on any node, like mainly in master node. And here I have to take stages.
Okay, what is this? Explain the stages. What stage?
Mm, So here I have taken a stage which pull our code, or we can
Okay,
which pull our
you
code
can write
from
it right.
version control.
Clone the code like that. So by simply writing GitHub, we will not get developer like from
Uh,
developer repo. Okay, it's okay. You can stop sharing. I got it.
yeah, like that we can add more stages that we need to build our code, and then we
S-
can use Docker
Sunil,
and
you want
Kubernetes
to
stuff.
add something like whatever she has written, is it right?
Yes.
And we can also add tools section here, tools block.
Yes. Let's continue to next question. Sorry, next question. Okay.
Sure. Yes, yes. Yes. We suppose we need to add further steps on the interview, because like what steps need to add. We also need to write there, or we can skip that one if we
Steps
have
you can
this
use
scenario.
sh, write single quotation. It's okay. You no need to write, but yeah, you need to copy paste the stages multiple times, and you need to
Yes, yes.
explain them. What is the stage in the stage? What is the steps? Right? You need to explain. So how would you
Sure.
ensure rollback in Jenkins if a deployment failed? How would you ensure rollback in Jenkins if a deployment fails? Nothing but how you will do a rollback if deployment fails, that too in Jenkins.
Sir, Jenkins, in case we can check the deployment status first.
Okay.
So in the deployment check, we can, if it is a version conflict, and you can verify the deployment was necessary, monitoring the rollout status using kubectl. I'm talking about like Kubernetes.
Okay. But I'm talking about Jenkins.
Sorry, tell me the question, sir.
How would you ensure rollback in Jenkins if Jenkins if a deployment fails? Nothing but see if something failed, how you will roll back? How you will go back to previous version. That is what. If you want to tell in Kubernetes also, it's okay. I'm happy with that. How you will roll back? What is the command to roll back? You can Google it, right? So Rani, you want to add something?
I don't have a solid idea about that.
No issues.
We
Sunil,
can troubleshoot from console log of Jenkins. If build is failed, we can rebuild, or we can rebuild from stages where it failed.
Sunil, you want to try? Tell me about Kubernetes. Like for suppose in the Kubernetes deployment got failed, how you will roll back?
Okay. Yeah.
Raju, if you want, you can also try. Yeah, Sunil, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, we can check the deployment status in a Kubernetes. So if it is a version conflict, and by monitoring the role status using a kubectl rollout status.
Super.
So if the deployment fails, Jenkins can trigger the rollback to the previous version. So the second one is like use kubectl rollout undo the
Super.
rollback.
You are
So
right.
Kubernetes has a built-in rollback features called a rollout undo. So after that, we can check the kubectl rollout status and the block if it is failure blocks if the deployment fails. For example, due to the incorrect Docker image or the application failure. After
Super.
that, yeah, rollback details. We can take the rollback details from the. We can use a command like a kubectl rollback undo deployment. We can give the any microservices images, like we can clean up everything regardless of the whatever the deployment is successful or fail. Jenkins can clear the docker images in the always block to save disk space to the node.
Okay. So we have covered Git questions, we have covered Jenkins questions. So shall we go to Docker?
Yes.
How do you handle persistent data storage in Docker containers across container restarts? Nothing but if my container is restarted, every time whenever container restart, the data present inside my container will be lost. So how you will preserve that data? Nothing but how do you handle persistent data storage in Docker containers across container restarts? Because whenever container is restarted, your data present inside the container will be lost. So how you will preserve the data? How do you handle persistent data storage in Docker containers across container restarts?
Sir, handling
We
that.
can use, yeah, Shani.
Yeah, you go.
We can use the persistent volume. We can
I'm
attach
talking
the
about
persistent
Docker,
volume.
not Kubernetes. How do you handle
Sure.
persistent data storage in Docker containers across container restarts?
I'm not sure. Thanks.
Okay, Kubernetes, try it from Kubernetes, it's okay.
So we can attach persistent volume to our pods to persist the data if there is in deployment file.
You will add persistent volume and deployment file.
Um, I'm not
Sunil, you want to try?
recalling properly.
Yeah, sir. We can use the volume. Docker volume directories are files stored outside the container file system, like Docker volume create, volume name, and we can use the volume like a Docker run minus v, volume name and container path, and the image name. We can bind the mounts, creating the Docker run minus v.
Oh, yeah, Rani, you got it? Sunil is correct. We can preserve the data using Docker
Sure,
volumes.
we'll check out this thing.
So how do you optimize Docker images to reduce size in production environment? Simple answer. How you will reduce the size of Docker image? Okay.
So we can use the Alpine or one more is there, sir? I don't.
So we can use light-based images that will
Super.
reduce for 40 to 50% of image sizes, and then we can use multi-stage build
Super.
approach of Docker file.
Right.
Apart
Right.
from yeah, that's all.
Raju?
Hello.
Yeah, try it. You now we are discussing Docker itself, right? Daily morning 7 to 8 a.m. we are discussing on Docker, right? So anyone watching this video on YouTube, right? If you are looking for DevOps training, daily morning 7 to 8 a.m. we will conduct DevOps training as well. Feel free to ping me in WhatsApp. You can see the mobile number displayed right in the bottom. So ping me on WhatsApp, join live classes, and it is paid, not free. Okay. So Raju is also participating daily morning at 7 to 8 a.m. So he has already enrolled for DevOps training. So I just invited him in the mock interview so that he will get some idea. So whoever take training, right?
Command.
I know this is the first time you will get some fear. It's okay. In the question. You can repeat the same whatever Rani or Sunil said. Okay. Do you want to try or not?
No,
Okay,
next
it's
time I
okay.
will
You
try.
can, yeah, you can mute yourself. So, how would you perform a blue-green deployment in Kubernetes? This one we already discussed in previous mocks. How would you perform a blue-green deployment in Kubernetes? How would you perform a blue-green deployment in Kubernetes?
Um, we can mention the deployment strategy on the deployment file to blue-green deployment that will lead to blue-green deployment of our of our application. It will create two identical environments. One is a running environment, one is a
Super.
standby,
Right, you are
which
right.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, go ahead. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, Sunil, you
So
want
it
to add?
will do. Yeah,
Yes.
let me complete
Okay, okay.
one, two sentences. It will deploy versions on the a new version on the maybe blue environment, and after that we can go to we can live that environment, and after that we can uh, deploy new version to the green environment. From that approach, we can reduce the downtime. Thanks. That's all.
Okay. Sunil,
Yes, sir. Yeah, actually, blue-green deployment strategy is like it's a zero downtime deployment. So we can two environments will be there. The first one is blue and green. We can traffic routed. First one it's in a blue initially, so we can deploy the blue deployment. Sorry, green to blue deployment. So traffic switch to the green. So blue will be terminated once green is available.
you will not terminate, okay? It will be just gone to passive state. If you terminate, what is the use of blue-green deployment? You will not send the traffic to that environment, that's it. Okay,
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
please
Yes.
share your screen and write a deployment file, Kubernetes deployment file.
Yes. Sir.
So close other tabs and you can share, or you try to share only Notepad while sharing, and you can write it. Or if you want to use Visual Studio Code for your comfortability, definitely you can use. It's up to you. At the end, you need to write a deployment file.
Yes, I'm closing the window.
So, Rani, how you will troubleshoot a failed pod in Kubernetes? So let Sunil write the deployment files. Until then, you can answer this. How would you troubleshoot a failed pod?
Sure. So we can start troubleshooting for the failed ports from starting the kubectl get ports, and there we can uh, look
Is my screen is
into
visible,
the
sir?
Yes, it's visible.
there we can look into the status of the pods, whether it is running or what is the current status. After that, if it is we have to look into the reason of the what the status of the pod. If it is there will be a error, image full error, maybe there will be other reasons for why it is not getting started or running or not. After that, we can use kubectl get logs command to further troubleshoot the pods.
Super, you are right. So just explain, Rani, one by one. So he is writing, right? Just explain what is this API version, what is kind. Can you please explain about this?
Yes, I can. So here Sunil is writing a deployment file where we have to define the API version of the what kind of uh, manifest file you are writing for deployment. It is app v1 and kind is the what for what you are writing for the manifest. For deployment, we are writing for manifest, and metadata is the uh, where we can define a name of the file. Here he
Name of the file or name of the deployment?
yes name of the deployment,
Okay.
and thereafter we can use a spec section where we have to
So
define the
try to
images.
Google it.
What
Try to Google it and try to complete the remaining part.
Okay.
on the spec section, we have to define the pod definitions.
Use your mobile.
What kind of um, images, what kind of um, what replicas, what number of replicas you want, and all of these things there we can define in spec section, like in container ports number and all of that thing.
So yeah, Sunil, whatever you have written, it's perfect, but there is some missing element was missing. It's okay. So whenever you are writing, right, you need to understand what you are writing. If you understood
Okay.
that, that is more than enough. So yeah, you can stop sharing. I'm happy whatever you have written. So now shall we move to Terraform? We have completed Git, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes. Okay. Now let's move to Terraform. How would you handle drift detection and correction in Terraform? How would you handle drift detection and correction in Terraform? It's okay, right? We will continue this mock for a few more minutes. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So whoever watching this video, please like this video so that we will continue the mock interviews. Yeah. How would you handle failures in Terraform? Simple answer. Drift detection is nothing but a failure. Or you can Google it. What is drift detection? Like how do you handle drift detection in Terraform? Or you use WhatsApp. Right in the WhatsApp nowadays we have a AI tool. Use that.
Drift detection in a Terraform ensures infrastructure consistency by identifying unauthorized changes. So drift detection is a process of detecting and reporting changes to infrastructure that divide from the desired state defined in a Terraform changes files. So if we are detecting the drift, so first we have to plan. So using a Terraform plan command, and we can use the Terraform refresh for updating the Terraform state file to match the current infrastructure. And after that, we need to validate the Terraform files using a Terraform validate, check the configuration syntax it's correct or not, and we can check the status of the Terraform using a Terraform state show. It will display the resources details.
Okay, Sunil, you can crack a job in 1 month. Okay, just you need to have the dedication. So I hope by next month you might crack a job. So try applying and attend
Yes.
interviews. Definitely you will crack it
Okay, sir.
because whatever you are telling, it's okay. Even if you are reading it out, I'm not feeling that you are reading something. You are telling genuinely, and it is total realistic. Whatever you are delivering the content. In the beginning, right, whenever you said, right, it is like you are reading something, but not now it's not like that. So you have improved a lot.
Thank you, sir.
So only one thing is I can tell that definitely you will crack a job, but you need to try attending interviews. I don't know, did you getting any opportunities, any calls?
Yes, sir. I'm getting a calls, and today only I got a call from some company.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
please attend it, and you can call me as well. You can share me the JD as well. I will prepare
Yes.
some questions on that particular JD and I will give it to you. Prepare
Okay.
that questions at an interview. Only on that. So just give me the JD. According
Yeah.
to the JD, I will give some questions to you. Prepare
Yeah.
that. Out of that only they will ask.
Okay, sir.
My previous student also
And
did
yeah,
the
yeah.
same, so he cracked a job.
And she was expecting only Kubernetes part. She was expecting more in a Kubernetes part.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So just go to my YouTube channel, go to playlist section. There is a Kubernetes, right? Watch all
Yes. Yes.
recordings. That is more than
Okay,
enough
sir.
to crack any interview of Kubernetes. Or go through the GitHub.
Yes.
Once you watch the playlist, right? Go to GitHub, check the questions, and you can able to write the deployment file also. It's so
Mm.
super. You know how to troubleshoot a pod as well.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. How do you manage multiple environments like development, production using Terraform? How do you manage multiple environments using Terraform? Now, Rani, you need to try this. Sunil, you can, in the backend, you can Google it, whatever you want. Raju, you to Google it. Rani, how do you manage multiple environments? For suppose there is a development environment, production environment using Terraform. So you too can Google it and answer. Or you can use WhatsApp AI. Rani, Sunil, you want to add?
Yes, sir. Sir, managing a multiple environments with Terraform involving organizations like variables and state files. So, if I take, for example, dev branch and stage and prod, uh, so in that Terraform organization strategies, like we can create an environment specific directories, like for example, dev, stage, and prod. So we can use a modular wise based on structure. So it's like a usable configuration models, like so variables driven configuration. We can use input variables to customize the environments. So we can use a state file management, like each environment has its own state file. So using the environment specific variables, we can use the Terraform tf vars file. We can use this um, yeah.
Super, you are right. Rani, you want to add something?
Yes. So, for deploying on a multiple environment using Terraform, we can use the directory structure which follows, and we can have a directory environments. There we can use multiple directory for the
Okay,
individual environment. That is that.
Sunil said one thing.
mm,
He said that he will maintain different stateful for different environment. So how is it possible to maintain different state files and for different environment? Tell me this.
So there will be a separate main.tf file that will create a separate state file for that.
No, there is
No
only
one.
one main file, but different state files for different environment. How is it possible?
We can create
Sunil?
on the same workspace.
Yes, sir. It's depending on the using the var files for environment specific variables.
No, no. State file, I'm talking about state file, different state file for different environment, not
We
about
can
variable file.
we can use modularization, like
Modules will be at the code level. I'm talking about state file. Raju, you want to add? different state file for different environment. So whenever I execute Terraform apply, right, I will generate a state file, but I want 3 state file for 3 environment separately. So Rani, you want to add?
This we can achieve via workspaces. We
Super,
can have.
definite. You are right. I just want you to tell this. Yeah, go ahead. Continue. So how you will create a workspace, Rani?
So we can create. I'm not sure.
Sorry.
I'm looking into solution to it.
So Raju, how you will create a workspace in Terraform? Or Sunil?
Yes, sir. We can create a workspace in a Terraform. Like we can manage the multiple environments.
Like what is a command to create a workspace? Raju,
So a
you want to?
Terraform workspace new development if it is dev, prod or a state.
Super. Right, you are right. So yeah, Raju,
Be-
you are
Before
not
only we
audible.
can, yes, yes. Before we have to initialize the
Terraform.
Terraform using a Terraform init command. Then only it will the Terraform workspace will be.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. So let's Raju speak, Sunil. Yeah, hi Raju.
Uh, Using the Terraform init, we can initialize the Terraform. After that, using the Terraform workspace, we can create the Terraform workspace.
Okay. How you will delete the workspace? What is the command to delete a workspace? Just Google it and answer me. How to delete a workspace in Terraform?
Terraform workspace delete.
Delete and the workspace name, right?
Yeah, workspace. I'm sorry.
Okay. How would you implement a rolling update using Ansible? Let's go back now. Let's come to Ansible. How would you implement a rolling update using Ansible? Google, try it. So, how would you implement
To
rolling update in
implement the
Ansible?
rolling updates in Ansible, you can use the serial keyword in playbooks to specify the number of cores.
Super, you are right. So, Raju, you can able to mute. You can mute yourself, getting some background noise if you are not
Okay, okay.
speaking. So, how would you ensure idempotency in Ansible playbooks? Okay, how would you ensure idempotency in Ansible playbooks? Okay, this is the last question in Ansible. Then after we will jump to SonarQube. How would you ensure idempotency in Ansible playbook? We need to discuss multiple questions. It's almost 1 hour. Speak out. How would you ensure idempotency in Ansible playbook? How do you, go to SonarQube. How do you integrate SonarQube with Jenkins pipeline for code quality analysis? How do you integrate SonarQube with Jenkins? This is the mandatory question in every interview for code quality analysis. How do you integrate SonarQube with Jenkins?
Sir, integrating SonarQube with a Jenkins, we can enable the automated code analysis, the quality checks, and the continuous inspections. So, like, oh, yeah, okay. We can first we can install the Jenkins server. So after that, we have to install. We can install a SonarQube instance also. So after that, we have to navigate the Jenkins administrator. Yeah, we can configure the jobs for the SonarQube analysis. So
Okay.
integrate the quality gate checks for post-build actions, quality gate.
Okay, how do you integrate? I just want that. How you will integrate Jenkins with SonarQube? Rani, you want to add?
We have to first install a Jenkins.
Administrator.
Sorry, we have to install SonarQube. After that, we can install SonarQube plugins on the Jenkins.
Yes, you are right.
We can use a pipeline approach to add the status to check the code quality. There we can add the tools of SonarQube, and there we can add the steps of just using steps to use SonarQube to analyze our code from, and we have to also add a reference of the SonarQube to access the Jenkins to SonarQube.
Raju, you want to add something? How you will integrate SonarQube with Jenkins?
No problem.
Okay, no issues. So, how do you fail a Jenkins build if SonarQube code quality threshold are not met? How do you fail a Jenkins build if SonarQube code quality threshold are not met? How do you fail a Jenkins build if SonarQube threshold are not met?
Now we have to try and search. We can add conditions on the pipelines. If, like, if this
Sorry,
is
come
not,
again. Your voice is not clear.
yeah, we can use conditions on the pipeline. If this is fulfilled,
Super, you are right.
then only then only consider it
Yeah,
successful.
almost right. Super.
Mm,
Okay. How would you automate container vulnerability scanning with Trevi in CI/CD pipeline? How would you automate container vulnerability scanning with Trevi in CI/CD pipeline?
We can
So,
automate this to CI tools using Jenkins. We can Ruby tools to in the pipeline. To
how will scan your Docker image or Docker container using Trevi tool? That is the question.
yes, not sure.
How do you ensure Trevi scans only critical vulnerabilities in your Docker images? How do you ensure Trevi scans only critical vulnerabilities? Nothing but I just want to scan and trigger only critical things using Trevi tool. Okay, let's move to next question. How would you set up auto scaling for a web application hosted on AWS? This is the AWS related interview question. How would you set up auto scaling for a web application hosted on AWS? How would you set up auto scaling for web application hosted in AWS? Raju,
We
your
can
voice is
use
not audible.
auto scaling.
Uh, through target groups.
Okay, you are right. Continue.
Based on the load, we can
Super. You can create a load balancer,
load balancer. Yes.
or you can create an auto scaling group as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, Rani, you are telling something?
Yes, we can use auto scale. We can use auto scaling group, and we can attach a load balancer. Behind that, we can attach a auto scaling group, and we can put their auto scaling threshold based on the different metrics.
Okay. So, Sunil, you want to add any point?
Uh, yes, sir. Like same as you said, that is correct answer.
Okay. Shall we move to next question?
Yes.
Final question of the interview. How would you manage secrets in AWS securely for a CI/CD pipeline? How would you manage secrets in AWS securely for a CI/CD pipeline?
We can use the AWS services called secrets manager. There we can store our secrets securely.
Okay. Sunil?
Yes, we can manage securely in like API keys, database credentials.
Okay. How?
We can use AWS Secret Manager.
Okay. What is AWS Secret Manager? Just explain. Google it and explain.
So AWS Secrets Manager is like a fully managed service that helps our project access to our applications like without any upfront investment and ongoing maintenance cost of operating your own infrastructures. So it will automate the rotations and it will secure the storage with fine granted access control. You can use AWS Identity Access Management like IAM to control who can access the secrets.
Okay. So, bonus question for today. What is the difference between entry point and CMD? Docker file, in the Docker file, what is the difference between entry point and CMD? So I'm adding two bonus questions today. One is on Docker, one is on Kubernetes. Coming to Docker, difference between entry point and CMD. Try it out.
Entry point sets the default process to run inside a container, while CMD sets as an argument for the process.
Okay, super, you are right. Explain me the difference. What is the difference?
Entry point should run when the container starts. It uses to build an executable Docker image with commands. But CMD command is used to executed when running a container from the image.
Repeat it again. CMD while running
Uh,
the container will be executed. Entry point,
Entry point run when the container starts.
both will run at same time. What is the difference? Both are same. Both will run at the runtime itself when our application starts. Sunil, you want to add something?
Yes, sir. Actually, in a Docker, entry point and CMD are two instructions serve the different purpose actually. So the first, if I talk about an entry point, we can specify the default executable to run the when the container starts. So it sets in CMD we can set the default arguments for the entry point command. So here entry point we can override by the docker run command. So here we can override by the docker run command. Both are same. Typically, entry point we can use container that requires a specific command to start. So here we can use the default value of the option arguments. We can do the option. Yes, you are audible.
Yes.
Rani, please explain entry point versus CMD inside a Docker file.
Yes, CMD and entry file is a keyword like we use to what we want to run when container starts. So CMD, when we use CMD, uh, it it will be override by the user when the user will run the run command of Docker. But when we use the entry point in Docker file, the user the user cannot be override of that command, which is written on the Docker file. Maybe I'm not typically sure about that.
Okay, if you use entry point, your value will not be override. If you use CMD, your
Yes,
value will be override, right?
yes.
You are totally wrong.
Mm,
S-
no, actually,
In CMD, your value will not be override. In entry point, your value will be override. That is the difference. In the entry point, the value whichever you passed, it will be override, right? Am I right?
entry point. Uh, no, in entry point, when we use entry point, override is not.
Okay. In the entry point, the values will be override. In CMD, the values will not be override. Yes, that's the point you want to tell.
No, you are what I have said. You are
In the entry point,
completely
the
different.
values will be overridden. In the CMD, the
Values
values will not
cannot
be
be overridden
overridden.
in entry point. I said
Sorry.
values can commands cannot be overridden if you use entry point. I have said this earlier.
Okay. I will share my screen. You are wrong. In CMD, your values will not be overridden. Whatever the value you are there, it will be remains constant. But in entry point, the values will be overridden. Can you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Entry point versus CMD. So what is the difference between CMD and entry point? The main purpose of CMD is provide defaults for an executable, and for entry point helps you to configure a container that can. So they both specify programs that execute when the container starts running, but CMD command are ignored by daemon, and when their parameters started, now current command. Entry point instructions are not ignored, but instead are appended as command line parameters by reading the argument of the command. If you see, in the entry point, your value will be overridden. So it are not ignored, but instead appended as command line parameters, and by treating those argument of the command. In the CMD, your value will be ignored and it will be not take that value. In the entry point, your value will be taken and it will be appended. It will be added. I will go to the Stack Overflow. It will be little bit confusing. It's okay. So entry point commands to run when container starts. CMD commands to run when container starts. Yes, it's free. You can override any of them when running Docker run. So CMD act as default parameters to entry point. Okay, it's not clear. Let me. So this is the record baking mock interview. This is our first mock interview which we have taken long. Note that this always changes the CMD on the entry point. Therefore, the current command starts new container and sets the CMD. Okay. Now next question will be in the next mock interview. I will add this question and I will explain. Okay, next question will be on Kubernetes. So explain me the difference between deployment and stateful set. Difference between the deployment and stateful set. By this question, we will end the mock interview. So if you see CMD can be replaced, entry point value cannot be replaced while executing Docker run command. So CMD value can be overridden, entry point value cannot be overridden. It's mistake or not? Is it right? Is it right or wrong? Yeah, tell me what is the difference between deployment and stateful set? Am I audible? Hello? difference between deployment and stateful set.
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, I'm asking the difference between deployment and stateful set. So what is the difference between the deployment and stateful set? Sunil? Yeah, difference between this deployment and stateful set.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, can you please explain the difference between the deployment and
Yeah,
stateful set?
in Kubernetes, yes, deployments and stateful sets are both controllers used to manage the deployment and scaling of applications. However, they are designed for a different types of applications, have different characteristics. Here breakdown we have to, like, the main purpose of a deployment is manage the stateless applications. And if I talk about a stateful, it manages the stateful applications. So in identity of deployment, it pods and interchangeable, but in a stateful set, it's unique and it's a stable identifier. So if we talk about in deployment networks, it's stable, but in stateful, it's not a stable in a deployment, but in a stateful, it's a stable network. You can manage the stateful also.
Okay.
So
What is the difference between entry point and CMD?
yeah, in entry point we can it's a primarily we can use the run command in a entry point. So in CMD, it's a default argument for a entry point. So it's a override by behavior, like for entry point, it's not easily override, but and in CMD we can be override.
Oh, you
In
are
the
right. You are right. So in CMD, you can able to override any command, but in
yeah,
entry point, you cannot able to override, but
can I?
it will be appended.
Yes.
Right, you are right. So I'm just stopping the recording.